Peace everyone, Unmask here, and welcome back to the self-portrait live stream. We worked on the face, worked on my face. It's weird to say it, but yeah, yesterday, and so today I'm gonna rework the ear and the neck, my ear and my neck. It's too weird. Don't make me say it. Hey, what's up, Lindy? Good to see ya. All right, let's see here. What am I gonna do? I need to start building up the values similar to how I did on the face. So I'm just gonna work in the shadow area for a bit and get it as dark as I need to. The face still is incomplete, but eventually it will all be complete. Hey there, Bad Vibes and Arik. Good to see you. I hope everyone had a fantastic Thursday? Is today Friday? Today is Friday. Congratulations, everyone. You made it to Friday. It is the weekend. I completely didn't realize that it was Friday. This week can't even speak. This week went by really, really fast. I can't even remember it. Just going by so fast. We have 7 days left. That's it. I have 7 days to finish this drawing. Speaking of finished drawings, I have officially posted two original pastel paintings on my website for auction. I decided to, I think like last month, or I don't even know when, I was talking about setting up an auction on eBay, using eBay to do an auction. But I hit a unique complication because since I live in Poland, I have to set up a Poland-based eBay, but my PayPal is registered in the US because that's when I opened up my PayPal account. And when I connect my PayPal account, it messes everything up and forces my eBay to be US based. But because my IP address or something, I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works. But long story short is I can't use eBay because it messes up. And that's even after I had customer service help me with it. But they didn't do anything helpful. And I was not able to set up just like a one button setup for an auction on my Weebly website because they don't have that type of plugin. I can sell things, that's fine, but I can't set up an auction. So I went over to work on my website, and I kind of accidentally came up with a solution to auction my artwork and make it a little bit easier. And so essentially I just kind of set up a request bid kind of thing. So essentially it's just a contact form that you enter the bid and then it emails me the bid amount and then I update the website. So it's not the easiest way to run an auction, but I'm excited to have it up. Like I said, I have two pastel paintings up for auction right now, and I put the link in the description if anyone wants to go over there. But I'm super happy to have it set up, and I hope to have sold a couple pieces of artwork before I leave for the United States. And then I'll probably set up another auction before I leave and then have it complete while I'm away. Or something like that. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting to do it today. I just went over to my website to see if there was like anything that I could do, and I just kind of accidentally created it. And I had spent so much time on it. I was like, well, I might as well just do it like completely, you know. And yeah, so that's what I did this morning. I was pretty busy. I was actually working on a video, uh, and while I was waiting for the video to do its rendering, which always takes forever, I went over to my website and started playing around with it, and accidentally discovered how to make auctions. So yeah, works. Well, so far, you know, I don't know if it works because it's the first time, but hopefully I'll get a bid today or tomorrow. I mean, I had people interested in buying the cliff piece already, and that's what kind of motivated me to start thinking about selling my artwork, and so now I really will. And that's one of the pieces that's up on my website now, since it was kind of the spark that lit the flame. I am doing very well, Jesse. Thank you. Oh, hello, Gila and Harmony. If you guys have any questions for me, you know, I never get enough questions, so don't hesitate to ask. Be happy to answer your questions. Yesterday, for Patreon tutorial, we worked on our betta fish, and I have it hanging up over there. It's certainly coming together quite nicely. I have a lot of people really interested in coloring the betta fish, so the Patreon stream was just popping off yesterday, and I got a good number of new patrons this month. So if you're one of those new patrons, thank you for joining. Appreciate that. I'm almost to 200 patrons. I'm just a few patrons away, which is super exciting. I never would have thought that I'd get 100 patrons, let alone 200 patrons. I remember, I think it was last year that I hit 100 patrons for the first time, and I was super excited about it. I could probably go back on Facebook and check, because I'm pretty sure I posted on Facebook about being excited about it. It's a really good feeling knowing that I have that many people that, you know, want to learn from me and are willing to, you know, buy me a cup of coffee, since that's about all it cost. Though I don't drink coffee, so more a cup of tea. Yeah. I can't help but notice that your eyes are slightly narrow in the drawing compared to the photo. I don't know. I think they're pretty close. This printout is a little bit darker than what I want to go for, because it makes it less happy and bright. But I mean, I'd say my eyes are pretty close. They might be maybe a little bit more closed, but that picture is a little bit smaller also. Can I show the fish? Yeah, let me grab it. So here's the betta fish. Oh, sorry, I hit the microphone. Hopefully that didn't make a loud noise. So this is what the betta fish looks like right now. We did this part of the tail yesterday, and then next week we're going to try to get the rest of this tail done. We might be able to finish this project next week. I need to figure out where to set it. Yeah, it could be the shadows. Like there's still work that I need to do around the eyes, but yeah, I'd say they're pretty close. The forehead is wider. Forehead is wider. Well, I have maybe a little bit of this hair right here, just a small amount. Maybe just a tiny bit. I'm still working on, obviously I'm still working on the hair, I'm still working on the face, and all of that. So I wasn't looking at the hair just now, but yeah, I'll be correcting pretty much anything that you could point out at this point. If you said anything about the background, then I'd have, I'd be disagreeing with you, but I'm working on the face for a reason. Oh, hello, friends. Yeah, the camera does not make my drawings look that great. I've actually found that the straight down camera, it's not very flattering, like to the artwork. Almost nothing that I do looks good on the straight down overhead camera. I don't know why that is, but from an angle, like if I were to angle the camera, kind of like if I were to shoot over the shoulder or something off from the side, because of the way it hits the paper, it doesn't pick up this weird excess detail, like grainy pencil texture that the overhead camera does. Because when I see, when I record on this camera, and not this project, but I record other projects, and when I see the footage, I'm like, why does the drawing look so bad on the camera? And yeah, for the life of me, I can't figure out why that is. But when I record more at an angle so that you're not staring at it like straight on, maybe it has to do with my lighting setup or something. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like it picks up so much extra texture that isn't there, and it makes it look less like a photo. And I don't know. Yeah. Cameras drive me crazy. They drive me crazy. Not sure what else to say about them. Oh, hey there, Chrissy. Good to see you. I don't know what like happened today, but for some reason, like my left shoulder blade, it feels like I have like a muscle cramp, like right in my shoulder blade, and It is painful right now. It is super painful. And it just kind of came out of nowhere. I was just sitting here. I was sitting here building my website. I was just working on, getting the auction set up. And then, like, out of nowhere, I just took a deep breath, and I felt like the crampy feeling on my left shoulder blade, and I'm like, ow, that hurts. What is going on? And I was doing some stretches, and it helped a little bit, but for the life of me, I don't think I've ever felt that feeling before. It just made me feel old. I was like, I hurt for no reason. If that's not the definition of getting and feeling old, then I don't know what is. I'm like, I feel a little too young for this, but it's some kind of like muscle cramp or something, and I can't get it to go away. I thought actually when it first came on, I was like, gosh, that hurts really bad. I can't even breathe comfortably. And I was like, yeah, hopefully it stops, because the amount of pain that it was causing me, I was like, there's no way I can live stream and draw with this pain. Fortunately, it subsided a little bit. All right, let's go a little bit darker in the shadows now. Just build up the color, build up the value. Neck already looks better. Just by adding another layer, smoothing it out a bit, and getting some of these darker colors to show up. Am I going to be framing this portrait? No, I won't be framing it. Most likely, I'll just shove it in a drawer somewhere. Not going to hang it up. I have some pictures of myself and my wife on our dresser, and that's about the extent that I'd want a picture of myself on display in my house. But a portrait of myself, yeah, I'm good. Like, a month of daily looking at myself is enough. I'm good. I'm gonna hide this in the drawer and never look at it for like at least a year, until I decide to do another self-portrait. This is just gonna sit in a drawer and collect dust. Only already got to the point where I can sense the rain coming in the back of my head. Well, I've always had a really good sense of when rain is coming. I don't know what it is, but I've always just been able to feel the rain coming. It's never been a pain that I feel the rain, so I'm not that old yet, but even when I was a young teenager, I was always described as an old soul. I've always been described that way ever since I was probably 14 years old. And so maybe that's why I have this pain as young as 30. I assume you're asking why I'm just going to put this in a drawer and not look at it anymore. I don't know. It's not something that I'm gonna sell, that's for sure. And I don't have any desire to hang it up in my house. It's not the kind of artwork that I would put on display uh, in my space. Like, it's nice to have completed it, but that's about the extent that it serves for me. Don't really have much desire beyond that for it to be seen. Not that I'm not going to be proud of this piece once I'm done. I don't think I've ever, I don't, actually, yeah, I have never spent like every day on a project for an entire month. I've never done that. This is the first time I've ever done it. So I'm certainly nothing short of proud of this project, and certainly when I'm done, it will be one of my best colored pencil portraits that I've ever completed. But yeah, that for me, that just doesn't give me enough reason to look at it every day afterwards. Have I thought about what your next big project in colored pencils will be? I have not. I'm trying to make it through this. My next big project is I want to focus more on my oil painting. After this month, I will most likely just go back to the Monday live streams. So the drawing journals, I'll probably do a couple of those before I head to America. And in the meantime, I'll try to finish, I don't know, some video or something. I don't know. I'll probably have a couple videos that I can finish off before I leave, and then have those scheduled out so you guys aren't left in the dark for 2 weeks while I'm in America spending time with my family and buying houses. But when I get back from America, the plan is to start my pastel portrait course. I wanted to get that done in July. I still haven't even settled on which portrait I'm going to use. I haven't found the portrait that I want to use for the project. I don't know. I have a hard time choosing a male subject for the portrait course, because that's what I was thinking I would do. I would, because I do so many female portraits. That's generally what I lean towards, because I'm attracted to women. And so I find the working on a female portrait more appealing than working on a guy's portrait. So I thought I'd try to change it up for that course, since different things arise. You know, you don't usually get hair like this on a woman, although nowadays you do. But yeah, I haven't found the portrait that I want to do for it yet, so I'll probably focus a little bit on that, finding the right picture. But yeah, that's what July looks like. And I probably won't do it in a week like I did with my raccoon project. That one, I don't think that's ever going to happen again. That was too much work in a single week. Because if you don't know, I recorded the video for the raccoon pastel project, and I edited it all and prepared it for my website and uploaded it, and it was selling within a week, like on the 7th day or something like that. Not to mention the YouTube live stream and launch video. Like, all of that went up in a week, and it was just a ridiculous amount of work. It was like a 90-hour work week. It was like 16 hours a day for 7 days. And it was, yeah, it was nice to get it done so quickly, but I don't think that's going to happen with the portrait course. In fact, I doubt I'll be able to shoot it in a single day. Probably have to record over 3 days for the pastel portrait course. And I'm still a little undecided if I don't think I'm going to do a background. I don't know. I kind of think about it, but I think I might just focus on the portrait itself and use only pastel pencils. I think that's the direction that I might go. Do you do underpaintings when you oil paint? No, I don't. What I do with my paintings is I plan it out and I use masking tape to tape off my subjects, and then I paint the background, and then I peel things off and paint the main subjects. That's always kind of been the way that I do it, because it's the way that I like it. And it's sort of where I came up with my name, Unmask Art. Part of it is just the way that I like to use masking tape with my paintings. I mean, I do the same thing with my pastel paintings, right? You know, instead of masking tape, sometimes I use masking tape for the border, but I use masking film for my subjects and stuff like that. And the only reason I do that is because if it wasn't for masking film, I'd be using masking tape to do it. So, yeah. So by the logic, I would be maybe not by that logic. I don't think that follows the logic, Sergio. All right. Give that a minute to dry or so. And I still think I can go a bit darker on the shadow, on this shadow here. So I think I will use a bit more of this brown. Yeah, I think I'll use this brown. I'll give that a minute to dry though. And then I can use some of that color there and those two colors. Might even need to use a little bit of gray. Am I still using standing desk? Yeah, I am using the standing desk though. I bought a stool. I bought a stool that leans, so like you kind of sit on it, but you always have to have your feet. You can't like sit on it with your feet dangling because it leans, it moves, and so you can stand and lean against it. And I have that stool underneath me now, and then I have my feet propped up on a little thing that I put under my desk, and it allows me to just slide the stool back and stand. I think I'll actually stand for a little bit. Gotta move my camera. But the one thing that I've noticed, so after standing for some time now, I've been standing for a while, I don't like the height of my desk. It's too low for me to stand, and so it's not as comfortable as I wish it was. I guess I underestimated how high I would want my desk as a standing desk, and I'd say that I am probably as much as 15 centimeters too low, and so being able to fix it, I I don't know. I don't know what I could do. I suppose what I could do is prop up my platform, but I mean, I would prefer it to be like this height so that I can like just stand and draw. Um, because even when I have it tilted up, it's still too low, and it just makes it a bit too uncomfortable for extended periods of time. So I usually find myself like lowering myself, bending my knees, my legs get tired, and then I like stand on one leg and I keep moving, and it's because I always have to have my knees bent a little bit so that I can be at the height that I'd prefer. So yeah, it's I messed up the design, um, and I'll just chalk it up as a learning experience. Because I was thinking the other day, you know, I want to move. Oh gosh, I want to move so bad. It's driving me absolutely crazy. Um, and I look forward to it every single day. I'm driving my wife crazy right now also by uh, telling her like anytime she's doing anything, it could be totally obvious what she's doing. She could be brushing her teeth, and I'd just walk in and be like, "Did you find us a house? Did you are you looking for flats right now?" She's brushing her teeth, and I'm asking her if she's looking at places for us to live, and so I just keep doing that and driving her crazy. She was playing on her computer last night, and I was like, "What are you doing? Looking for houses?" And so I'm just gonna keep driving her nuts until she finds us the house. I mean, I'm looking too, so but I don't know it's such a double-edged sword right now, the idea of looking for a new place to live, because we're not really we're not really sure about buying here in Poland, and yeah, we're just not sure if it's going to be possible, um, because I don't have I don't have any credit stuff. Like I don't even have a bank account in Poland. All of my stuff is still in the U.S. and I do all of my banking and paying stuff online, and so I can't really I can't just go to an ATM and withdraw a whole bunch of money. Um, I can withdraw some, but there is a limit to how much I can actually withdraw. So, you know, getting the money into Poland is a little tricky. Getting my money anyway. And what I was telling my wife, I was like, well, you know what we should do is, you know, you should just get a loan for the house in your name, and then whatever the monthly bill is or whatnot, I could simply just pay that, and that would be kind of the way that we were thinking of doing it. But another issue that has come up, we're not sure how we're going to have to deal with it, but it's the whole thing about how much money we make, because it's not exactly it's not exactly easy to prove how much money you make when you make your money six different ways and you're the sole operator of the whole business going on, you know? Because I get paid from Patreon, I get paid from Amazon, I get paid from my website, I don't even know where else. I get paid from YouTube. I have all these different income sources. They all go to different places. Patreon goes to my bank account. Amazon goes to my bank account. YouTube goes to my PayPal. It's just scattered about, and it's not something that I really even know how to prove. Because I feel like, well, I could just I could just Photoshop any amount that I wanted if it was just take a picture, take a screenshot of your bank statement or your PayPal statement or whatever. I don't even know how to prove it. I was trying to find it on Patreon last night, but Patreon doesn't give you tax. They don't give you a tax form if you operate outside of the U.S. It is a complicated mess for me because Patreon knows that I'm in Poland. So even though I'm paid in US dollar and all the money goes to a US bank, I am a creator in Poland. So all of my tax stuff goes through Poland or whatever, however that works. I'm considered a foreign creator. And so I don't get US tax stuff from Patreon. And even if I did, I don't make enough. Patreon doesn't give you tax thingies until you make more than $20,000 a year. And I'm getting kind of close to that, sort of. I'm a little over halfway there, but right now, like that's what I have to work with, and so the proof of income is a weird hurdle that I'm not sure I know how to deal with, and I'll have to cross that bridge when I get to it, or my wife and I will have to. And so that's something I'm going to have to figure out. That's something I'm going to have to figure out when I go back to the United States, because I am almost 100% certain that I will buy a house while I'm in the United States. I've had my eye on this one particular property that just seems like a super solid investment because it's two houses on a single property. So you get a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and you get a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It's ridiculously cheap. They do not hide the fact, either by pictures or by admission, that the property needs work. But I am perfectly fine with that because that's what my sister is going to do. So I'm really, really interested in the property. It's got a good location, and the fact that it has 2 rentable units is really, really cool. It makes it really kind of an easy investment choice. And so I have to talk to my bank to figure out like the loan stuff of it. But I imagine there will probably be some financial proof or whatever that I'll have to deal with them. So that's how I'm going to figure it out. Do I know any art YouTubers except Chrissy? Yes, I do. I know Fine Art Anna. I know Lisa from Lacry Art. I know Ryan O'Rourke. I know Wendy, of course. I know Kit Slam. I know Import Autumn. I know who else? Who else do I know? And I'm talking about people that I've like actually talked to, not like big art channels that I have no communication with. I'm trying to think of. Oh, I know Jeff. I know Scott from Circ Work. And who else? What other YouTube artist do I know? I know Safi Rosa. Think that's about it. Yeah. Oh, I know. Well, I guess I can't really say that, so I won't say it. Who else do I know? Oh, I know Harry from Art Gear Guide. Who else? Who else? Oh, I know John Middick from The Sharpened Artist. Actually, I was just emailing him the other day. He sent me this kind of this offer to promote his portrait class. So he's doing a colored pencil portrait class. Oh no, the pencil is doing the weird thing. Don't do it. He's doing a portrait class, and it starts soon. And it's like a real time thing, like a live stream or a live class. I'm not really sure on the details, but yeah, he's offering that soon, and he made the offer of doing a. He made the offer to me for a referral link. He said that if I sign up to do a referral link, basically I would just promote his art class or whatever, and he pays based on referrals of how many people I get to sign up. It's different than my art course, for my portrait course for colored pencils, because his is like a live classroom thing, from what I gathered, what he sent in the email. And I told him that I'm not interested in the referral thing, but I'd be happy to mention it in the live stream like I am right now. I don't have a link for it, but you can find him on YouTube, and you can find his website, The Sharpened Artist. He's the other half of the Colored Pencil podcast. Him and Lisa do the Colored Pencil podcast. So yeah, you can certainly find more information from his website. So yeah, I know quite a few. I know quite a few YouTube artists. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm talking. I just talk about whatever comes to mind until you guys ask questions. When you guys, I promise you, you guys dictate the conversation. You ask me relevant questions or irrelevant questions, and that will be the topic of the conversation. But if you don't give me anything to talk about, I will just ramble on about whatever comes to mind. Whatever is going on in my life is usually what I end up rambling about. Completely unrelated question, but how do I sharpen pastel pencils? I sharpen my pastel pencils with my Jacquard Electric Auto Stop pencil sharpener. With a clean, fresh blade, it sharpens the pastel pencils to a point that you can get nowhere else. It is so amazing, and the blades last. The blades last a good amount of time, and to replace them takes about 15 minutes and roughly about $5. But I don't know where it's available. I get it. I ordered it from the UK for I think right around 70 pounds or something like that. So it was relatively expensive, but 100% worth it for me, because I have to sharpen a lot of pencils. All right, let's see here. I know I got some other colors in here. What do I need? Maybe some more of this color. Trying to figure out what I need to do here. I think it looks a lot more natural than the way that it started earlier. So it certainly is coming along. Is this live stream sponsored? No, it is not. Would you like to sponsor it? No, none of my content is sponsored by anybody but myself. I have been approached way too many times by several art businesses that I have no interest in promoting or being associated with because their products are cheap and I don't consider them to be even a student level product. Yeah, I will not sell myself even for $1. If it's not something that I truly stand behind, then you have no chance of buying me out. You could offer me $1 million to I don't know, advertise your underwear, and if it's not the best underwear in the world, then you're not getting my endorsement. The closest to a sponsorship that I've ever gotten was I've gotten 2 free drawing monitors, so like touchscreen drawing monitors, one from Oogie and the other from Huon. I got 2 of those for free, and I made reviews on them, but there was no stipulation. I mean, if I got the product and I didn't do anything with it, I never made a video, then I got a free product. But I figured, you know, I could at least do a review because I'd still be honest with the review, even though I got it for free. Are you able to list your sharpener below? I have listed. I listed it on my website. I don't know, maybe it's still on my website. Let me check. I might still have it listed on my website. If not, no, I do not. The reason I unlisted it from my website is because I've only been able to find it on Amazon for like $150 or something crazy. And I've been told from several people that it's not available in the US or wherever. And so it didn't make sense for me to list it. I don't promote it in any way because apparently it's not like a worldwide company. But when I'm asked, I tell you what I use. But yeah, it seems to be an issue to find for most people, so that's why I don't list it. I didn't realize that it was such an exclusive pencil sharpener to my location when I got it, and not that it would change my mind. I got it because I thought it would work really well. It does work really well, and I'm super happy to have it, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to be available to most people. I got it from Jackson's Art Supply online, so if you're in Europe, and maybe even possibly the US, just know that it only comes with the UK type of plug. I myself even have to use an adapter, but I'm not sure if it's compatible with the 120 volt, the 120 volt, which the US uses. I'm pretty sure it's 240 here, and in the UK, or in Europe. I mean, in most of Europe, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why they do the two different things. It drives me nuts. But I have a converter under my desk that I plug all of my stuff into, even though it doesn't need it. My computer doesn't need it, but I plug my computer into it anyway. Because when I first moved here, I had lights that only ran on the 120, and so I bought a converter just to run my lights, and now I don't even use them. Oh yeah. Well, I really really like my pencil sharpener. Um, I mean, if you've ever spent time sharpening pastel pencils, then you know that they are painful, they are annoying, they break constantly, and I've never had them break in my electric pencil sharpener, and so I'm very 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 pleased with my pencil sharpener. And when I like something, I'm not afraid to say it. And if I don't like something, I'm also not afraid to say it. So yeah, it's not that I'm sponsored by the pencil sharpener. I wish I was. I could get free blades for life. They could just pay me free blades for life, and and I think I'd and free sharpeners if it breaks, and then maybe 5 free sharpeners a year for me to give away. Yeah, I would do that. I'd take that deal. They wouldn't even have to pay me. I just never have to worry about my pencil sharpeners. Although they would have to also take into consideration that I want them to make their pencil sharpeners, the hole needs to be bigger so that I can fit my luminance, all of my Caran d'Ache pencils in there, including the super huge gigantic tree trunk Geneve pastel pencils. Those ones, it's like holding a pencil like this using the Caran d'Ache pastel pencils. It's like drawing with something as thick as a baby's arm. What's the name again? So it is Jakar. I know somebody in the chat knows how to spell it, so give Gary the spelling there. Jakar electric pencil sharpener. I think it might be available in Australia, so you might be in luck there. What would you consider the perfect piece of art you could ever come up with? Something maybe that you have thought about but never got to making. The perfect piece of artwork would be an absolute disaster, because I have always, ever, for as long as I've ever created or done anything in my life, I have always told myself that the moment I hit perfection is the moment I quit. And so if I were to create something, draw something, paint something that is perfect, that would be the last thing that I ever did. Last time that I'd ever paint, last time that I'd ever do that activity. So I have no idea what it would be. Not to any degree of perfection, because I'd say perfection is a lot like I'd say perfection is almost exactly like morality. I don't think that there is an objective form of morality, nor do I think there's an objective form of perfection. And for that reason, no matter how you seek perfection, you'll never be able to obtain it because it's subjective. But perhaps I read a little bit too much into your question. I have this really awful tendency to always literalize everything. It's probably why I don't have many friends. But let's just say a small degree below what perfection would actually be. What would be the artwork? What would be the artwork? What would be the artwork? Well, it would certainly involve a human figure. It would definitely involve a human figure because for me that is just my all-time favorite subject. It is the most challenging kind of subject matter that I have come across in all of my years, and the challenge keeps me inspired and motivated throughout the project every single time. It doesn't matter. It's every single time. So it would certainly involve the human form in some way or another. Maybe multiple subjects. So like even potentially an animal involved. I always liked tigers. So maybe some kind of animal involved as well. It would certainly be a piece that I would say, I don't know, it would have to have some kind of drama to it. I'm always drawn to images that have kind of like a strength about them, something that just displays like confidence or domination or I don't know, self-assurance. I've always kind of been drawn towards pieces like that. So something a little bit dramatic, maybe a unique light, casting really cool shadows. I love shadows with light. So the project would probably have to involve a certain degree of complexity in the light. Yeah, something like that. I mean, you got my wheels turning. Now I'm kind of thinking about it. Do you have any videos about holographic objects? Well, I did do a study of a holographic shirt or a skirt, iridescent type of holographic. Sometimes it's described as holographic, so I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to, but I do have the drawing journal that I did last month that I worked on that project. And I think I'm pretty sure I did 2 videos of it, and I talk about like strategy and things, but I also ramble about other nonsense like I do all the time when I live stream. Good questions. I like the topic. Yeah, I like the topic. I always like to kind of think of the next project. I have this one reference photo. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it because it has some things in it that I'm like, I really wish that wasn't in the photo. But the lighting, oh, I just love the lighting. It could almost be a picture of anything. The lighting is so So good. I love the really high contrasted type of lighting that you have where like one side of the subject is like completely black and then the other side is like highlighted all the way up to like maximum. I really really like photos like that, and just the sense of drama or some kind of dramatic type of scene. Just really really like those those kind of photos. They just speak to me for some reason. Don't know why. They just pique my interest all the time. You're genuinely curious. Oh, how old am I? I am 30 years old. 30. I turned 30 this year, back in January. Yeah, no, some days, yeah, now you got me on the another weird topic, my age. Some days I feel like I've taken way too long to accomplish things. I think that's a common feeling. You know, we have all these stories of people in the past that, did amazing things when they were still like 17 years old, and they started their business and they were millionaires by the time they were 22 and stuff like that. And we still get stories like that every now and again. And we sometimes it makes us feel like we took too long, or we should have done things differently in the past, or we should be farther along in our life. I certainly have that feeling every now and again, and think to myself like, oh gosh, I 30 years old, I haven't done anything with my life. And it's kind of funny. Like the more stuff that you do with your life, it's almost like the more you feel that feeling. And if I were to do like bullet points of things I've done in my life, I think I probably have done a lot more than I give myself credit for. Because one of the things that I kind of always say to myself, it's like, oh, I'm 30 years old. I don't even own a house. Like, how much of a failure am I? That's some days I really feel like that. But and then I just think about if I were to bullet point the things that I've accomplished. Like, I was in the military. I've sailed around the world. I've literally sailed an aircraft carrier. I mean, less than 1% of the population can say that. So very, very small number of people have done what I've done. And I've skydived. I've driven across the country. I've seen my favorite bands in concert. I mean, I've moved to a foreign country. I am the first person from my family to ever graduate from college. Sometimes you make yourself, feel worse than you should. But I don't. You asking my age just kind of brought brought those thoughts to the forefront of my mind. So just had to talk about it. I look like I'm 20. Yeah, well, you should see me when I shave my face. My wife asked me yesterday when or how long I'm going to keep this. Honestly, I don't know how much longer I can keep it. It is starting to get to me, but I'm going to hold off for at least this month. So while I'm doing these live streams, drawing myself with a beard, or whatever you want to call it, stubble. Beard is just easier to say, and it sounds less awful to say. Yeah, that's a good way of thinking of it too, Tessa. Yeah, how many good days have I had? I've certainly had more good days than bad. That's for sure. Certainly more good than bad. Because the bad ones, they seem more vivid. The bad ones seem more vivid because traumatic events tend to be easier to remember. But there's a lot of space in between those bad days. And in between those bad days were almost always good days. And the reason I can't recall, all the good days is because there's too many. But the only reason I can remember the bad days is because there's only a few. So yeah, that is one good way of thinking of it. Struggle with values. Any basic tips? One of the first things that you can do, whether it's with color or it's just monochromatic, working with graphite or whatnot, what you can do, like since I have a photograph here, find one value that you can really identify. Let's say like right here on the shirt, like this is black. Now, like I said, this printout is not the best. It's quite a bit darker than what the reference photo is, or what the reference photo is supposed to be. It's actually, it's pretty dark. But you can identify black. And even if it's not the purest black, it's probably pretty close. And you can also, to help you, create one of these little tools. This is literally a piece of paper with a square cut out of it, and you can place it over top of what you're looking at. So, I'm identifying that as black. If it's not pure black, it's really, really close. And so you can pinpoint those pure whites and pure blacks using a tool like this, and then once you identify those values, you place those values on your picture, right? And you use that as kind of like your scale, in which this is as dark as I can go, and you can use it to balance the values that surround it, and then once you have the values surrounding it, you can use those values to balance the values surrounding that, and so forth. And so that's one way to help. When you're dealing with colors, we often struggle with color fear, placing dark values and stuff, especially on faces. I see it all the time. People do portraits and they never do the skin. They never do the skin beyond this. Like, this is just a single coat of two different colors. There's no contrast here. You can barely see where the knuckles are a little bit brighter. But this shadow down here is much, much darker than what I have it. And some people are too afraid to go darker with skin in particular. But you can see if I can get them both, you can see just how much lighter my arm is in comparison to my neck and my face here. And that's because, I've started darkening the values and deepening the shadows on my face. And in order to, make the shadows balanced with the tone of my skin and the highlights of my skin, everything has to be darker. I need to just keep layering and layering until I get the right value. And if I can match the value in the shadow, then I know how much darker I need to make everything else to balance it out. Similar to how my forehead and cheek here is. Because before, this part was like this color. It was much too bright. But I knew that I had to darken the space around my eye and on my forehead here. And then once I had those, I was able to comfortably darken this part of the skin and make it look a bit more natural. Are the Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils the same as polychromos? I've heard that they are essentially the same type of pencil, more translucent, denser, and more oil-based. But I've never used the Pablos, so I can't give you my opinion on the pencils at all. I think the set of polychromos is enough of those types of pencils, because although I've started using my polychromos a little bit more, still not my go-to pencil in any way. As I pick up a polychromos, because why not? I really like the polychromos for toning my colors because of their translucent property. They lay very cleanly without a lot of graininess to them. Let's see. Oh goodness, I didn't realize that I've been streaming for an hour already. Yeah, I'm about to call it a day. I think I might smooth out some of these colors here. I actually did more than I even thought I was going to, coming back up to my face here to just work the skin and get the colors a bit darker. I think I might add a little bit more pink to my ears. Brighten up some of those highlights there a tiny bit more. Why are the Caran d'Ache products so expensive? It's because they are produced to essentially the highest quality, at least the highest quality that I've ever come across. I mean, their pencils also, like, they use the highest quality pigments that are light fast and archival. That's partially of what you're paying for, but you're also paying for the build quality. For instance, the quality control on their pencils is probably the best of any pencil. You almost never get uncentered cores, meaning that it's perfectly in the center, so when you sharpen it, you get a perfect tip. The cores are stronger than most pencils, so breakage almost never happens, regardless of how terrible of a pencil sharpener you have. The wood, the wood is softer. The wood is softer than most pencils, like the Polychromos or the Prismacolor, which makes it easier to sharpen. It doesn't dull the blade as much. Yeah, so higher quality pigments, better wood, better core. You're paying for better quality. There's really no other way to describe it. It's just better quality. And their pastel pencils. Their pastel pencils are so amazing. It's honestly a little depressing that I haven't used them. Maybe I need to do another month-long project working with pastel, and I'll just work with the Caran d'Ache pastel pencils. The wooden case that the pastel pencils come in is also really good quality, really solid wood case, and it just looks nice. I mean, it's just a lot of benefits to it. I'm talking about Caran d'Ache. Yeah, I'm talking about the Caran d'Ache brand. Both of the luminance colored pencils and the Geneve pastel pencils is what I was referring to specifically. Now, one issue is the thickness of the pencils, which makes pencil sharpener shopping a little difficult because you have to buy a sharpener that will fit the pencils. But once you do, they will sharpen really well. I actually have the Caran d'Ache. I have the cheaper Caran d'Ache pencil sharpener. I wanted to get the metal one. They have a metal one that's like $130, $140, but they only had the special rose colored one that was like $210, and I was like, I don't need a limited edition pink pencil sharpener. I just want the silver one, the normal $150 one or whatever it was. But they only had the pink one, and I was like, I'll just get the cheaper plastic one. And it works well. Yeah, it works well. Do I remember the Derwent pastel pencils in the wooden case? Yeah, I certainly have not forgotten those. I have them. The wooden case is cheap and probably the worst possible design I could have ever come across for a wooden case holding pencils. I am not a fan whatsoever of the Derwent pastel pencils. They are next to impossible to sharpen because they don't fit in my electric pencil sharpener. They're fat. The wood, oh my gosh, the wood that they use, I swear it's like it's like the hardest possible wood. It's like solid oak or like concrete. I don't know what it is, but the wood is so hard that you can't use a pencil sharpener on them because you'll just break your blade trying to sharpen. And so you have to use a craft knife to sharpen them. And even with like the most delicate carving to sharpen those pencils, you still constantly break the tip off. So I remember like I did a review. I did a review in comparison of the Carbothellos, the Faber-Castell, the Derwent, and the Caran d'Ache pastel pencils. I did a review a couple months ago of those 4 brands of pencils, and I think I used somewhere around like 14 or 15 colors of each set to do the comparison, and it took me like a full 50 minutes, like 50 minutes to an hour, just to sharpen the 15 or so pencils that I needed of the Derwent, because I would get down to a decent like a decent tip, but it would still be really dull. And so with just the most delicate carving with a new blade on my craft knife, the tips would still just break off. And even when in the process of sharpening them, the core would snap like back here right behind the wood, and so the whole tip would just fall out. And I spent like I spent so much time just sharpening the pencils to use them. And I think what I said in my review was that any art supply that makes using them not fun, because you have to deal with, these faulty cores and this terrible time sharpening them. The moment I come across a product that I don't have fun with, like it has no purpose in my life. And so I gave them a really, really low review in comparison to all the other brands, and they're the third most expensive. The Carbothellos and Faber-Castell, they are the 2 cheaper brands, and they far exceed the quality level that you get from the Derwent. So I don't think I will ever recommend the Derwent pastel pencils to anybody ever. Alrighty, I'm just gonna use my dry brush here to smooth out that last layer of color. I think, I think I'm gonna call it a day. Not a whole lot left to do on the face. Just some minor touch up and polishing the details, I think. And I'll save that for the polishing stage. Tomorrow, I think maybe I'll just work on my arm. Let's see, I have 7 days left. What do I need to do? Well, I need to polish the face and the neck. That will be saved towards the end. I need to rework the hair before I get into the polishing of the hair. So I have the shirt that I need to complete. I didn't do any of the toning for the shirt. So I still need to tone the shirt. And then that will be the polishing stage. So I have the arm to rework, the shirt to tone, that's 2 days at least. Reworking the hair, that's 3. And I think that's actually it. So 3 days, that gives me 4 days to polish. Yeah, I think that's a good amount. So tomorrow I'll do tomorrow I'll do the hair, maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided. Tomorrow I'll either rework the hair or rework the arm here. The arm actually might need 2 extra days, but whatever. We got 6 days. We got 6 days after today. So today's done and over with. So with that said, thank you guys so much for coming by and hanging out with me. I love the questions. You guys have awesome questions. I love chatting with you. And oh, hey there, color my world. Oh, you've been quietly watching since day 1. That is awesome. If you can get the soft white, that is worth it. I think you might be talking to somebody else there. But anyways, yeah, that's going to be it. I just a reminder for those of you that may have came in later in the live stream. I am auctioning off two of my pastel paintings that I've completed in the past. Oh, well, one I completed like 2 days ago. The other one I completed a couple months ago. But they're listed on my website right now. You can place a bid for them. I have a link for that in the description. Also, you can join me over on Patreon if you haven't already. I do live tutorials every Tuesday and Thursday. And yeah, I think that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Thank you so much for coming by, and I will see you next time. Take care. Peace.